Here we are at day 15. This is called Harrington's Lookout. So it's been pouring this morning. I started about 10 o'clock. Checked out of the old Stagecoach Inn, had breakfast there. Bethany dropped me off at the trail and it was pouring. So not a great way to start off the hike, but it has now stopped. The weather forecast for the rest of the week is not super great. More rain tomorrow, I believe. So I'm actually going to try to push a little further today. And there's a lodge like 4 miles from Puffer Shelter that I'm going to aim for tonight. Going towards Bolton Mountain, I believe, right now, which is a viewless summit. So nothing much to see there anyways. Unfortunately, I'm soaked to the bone already. It is day 16 on the LT, and I stayed at Butler Lodge last night. Met a really nice family that was staying there. A few of them actually just completed the long trail a few weeks ago, and they were very kind and generous. They had extra ham and cheese sandwiches actually, so I was able to get a couple of those on like homemade bread. It was delicious. And they gave me some ring dings or something, or ho-hos, or I don't know, just free food. So it rained pretty hard yesterday, and today's forecast said a slight chance of rain, but if you can hear it, it is currently raining. Again, here on the long trail. So today on the agenda is Mount Mansfield. It's one of the higher peaks here in the Green Mountains. I'm gonna try to do about 13 miles today. I'm ahead of schedule by about 3.5 miles. I'm gonna try to get to Madonna Peak, which has like a ski lodge that they leave opened in the summertime for hikers to stay in. So that's the goal. It's about 7 a.m. Onward and upward, Mansfield, Madonna's Peak. Gonna try to get there for today. We'll see what happens. Well, here we are at Mansfield. It absolutely poured this morning until about 45 minutes ago. I was soaked to the bone. It's really cold today too, just because we're up in higher elevation, so I was getting very cold. In fact, I stopped at the Mansfield visitor center where they had a caretaker there, and she actually made me some hot chocolate. I think because she felt so bad for me. So I got some hot chocolate in. That really helped. That really helped warm me up a lot. And she also gave me a cupcake. So, been a lot of sweet people on trail giving me stuff. And this is supposed to be a trail. Currently on Madonna Peak, but there's a ski lift here, and then I am staying in the warming hut. My last video I said that I stayed at Butler. I was wrong. I was not at Butler Lodge. I was at Taylor Lodge. Today was a very hard day. only about 14 miles, but it poured for a good majority of the day. And it's supposed to pour again tomorrow and the next day. But anyways, conclusion to day 16. It is morning, 7:17, 7:20, mile 212. Still on top of Madonna Peak inside the warming hut. And I'm about to get ready to go. So for today, the next shelter is like 13-ish miles. Then after that, it's around 25 miles. And I'm not sure if I have 25 miles in me. Getting pretty close to Canada, about 60-ish miles. So you can look outside and it's pretty foggy, kind of wet. Like I said, rain's in the forecast for today and tomorrow, essentially all day. But forecasts can be wrong, so I'll cross my fingers. Hopefully this one is, and hopefully I can get some drier weather. That would be great. So here we are on some dirt road that I've been following for about a mile now. It's an old logging road that the LT uses as part of their trail, which I'm actually really happy about right now because my left Achilles tendon feels like it's on fire. Literally. It like burns, it stings, almost feels like it's getting stabbed. So even just with this easy terrain here with this dirt road, it's, geez and crow, it hurts. My body's basically telling me to slow down and to take it easy. But Canada is about 52-ish, 50 miles away. So Canada is within reach. A little wiped out from yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty hard day. So we'll at least make it to Round Top Shelter. That's probably in about 6 miles. Alright, day 18, mile 226. It is about 8:30 in the morning. And I got a late start today. I didn't get started until, gosh, maybe 7:45. But it absolutely went bananas last night and it poured like crazy. And the shelter actually leaked right on me, so I had to find a new spot. But what made the night awesome was 2 ladies that came up. One named Special Megan and the other was Old School. And they brought beer, extra food, and just a bunch of stuff that we could partake of. So got to drink a beer on trail, which was pretty cool. So beer and just good company. They were both a lot of fun. Just really cool, really energetic, really positive, both of them. And it just like, it was awesome having them there. It made the stay so much better despite the ridiculous amount of rain that we got last night. There was thunder and lightning, and I mean like huge cracks. It sounded like just like right above us. It was so loud, it like would jar you. And I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it is currently raining. Very light, but raining still. So today, going to try to do about 15 miles. Here we are at the Corliss shelter, about 37 miles to Canada. Jeez, I can't believe that. I'm feeling very mixed about it. One of the bad things is it's hard to enjoy the hike right now just because I'm in a lot of pain. So I've had to adjust the way I walk, and I have to take like shorter strides. It hurts a lot more to go uphill than downhill. Downhill is no problem, but going up, especially slight inclines, are actually the hardest. I'm kind of hiking, not with, but along with a mother-daughter, and we've stayed at the same shelters for the past, I think this will be 4 nights now. I'm going to the same shelter tonight. I believe it's called Spruce Peak. And she actually gave me some CBD sauce, like salve, to put on it last night. I'm not sure if that helped or not, but I'm sure she'd be willing to give me more tonight. So I've stopped several times on trail to stretch it out, and I'm just really being very cognizant about every step I take. And that's why it's been kind of hard to enjoy these last several miles on trail. Now I'm definitely at least limited to about 15 miles per day. It's kind of frustrating for me to be limited like that because I'm so used to, kind of pushing myself and going as far as I can. But I think that's what got me into the situation to begin with, because I've been having these pains, not this intense, since Rutland, which was a long time ago. And I pushed really hard for several of those days when I just got on trail, doing 18s and 20s, and I think I'm paying the price for it now. So it's about 6.5-ish, 7 miles to the next shelter where I'll be staying this Friday. I have plans for Bethany to pick me up around 8 o'clock. So that means 3 15-mile days, including today. And hopefully I can keep that pace. I'm starting to realize, especially last night, how lucky I've been to be able to be out here and enjoy what the Green Mountains have to offer. And last night during that torrential storm that we had, it was kind of nice actually. It was kind of peaceful in a way. I was laying there just watching the rain just come down hard, and the lightning and the thunder, and it just all kind of hit me all at once that, wow, I've been out here. My job has been to hike every single day, to get up, eat breakfast, and hit the trail. And that's been my sole purpose for the past, almost 3 weeks now. Not a lot of people get to do that. I don't know if a lot of people would want to do that. I certainly did and still would. But it's just kind of all coming to a head here that this trip is coming to a close pretty darn quick. And it's definitely bittersweet. Looking forward to it and not, all at the same time. I think once I get off trail, that's when it'll really hit me that, wow, I miss it. I miss the simple life of living out of a backpack and, going 6-7 days just being out in the wilderness and enjoying, despite all the rain and everything that's going on, to enjoy what is being offered to me. So I don't often get video footage of shelters because I don't want to film people if they don't want to be filmed, but everybody has left for the moment here at Spruce Ledge. Here's the living space, got all my clothes hanging up to dry, at least try to dry. It has actually turned into a sunny afternoon/evening, which is pretty nice. There's the trail right there. But we'll bring you on inside and kind of show you around. Got my sleeping bag, got my pillow, my mat all ready to go. Really digging the skylights. The last place had skylights too, actually, and that's where it ended up leaking on me. So that's why I didn't take the top bunks. Like, I'm not getting rained on again. And then I don't know if you can see, but there's some like duct tape like right there. So that leads me to believe that potentially there's a leak somewhere in this place. I am spending the night with Quirky and Noodle. They have been my tramley, so to say, for the past 4 nights now, I think. 4 or 5 nights. So we don't really do much hiking together, but we always end up staying at the same place. So I'm gonna take a little stroll down to the privy here. 2 options out here. You can either dig what they call a cat hole and go to the bathroom in that, or you can do what they call is brown blazing, which is trying to hold everything in, especially the number 2, until you get to a privy. And this one's pretty ripe. And oh, look at that, nice fancy design on the toilet seat. And you open it up and day 19, still at camp. It's about 7:15, getting another late start. Still got my sandals on, actually. I just had some coffee. And I'm not sure what the plan is today. You know, it's kind of all dependent on how I'm feeling. Tomorrow would be gulp, my last day on trail. So this, as long as everything goes according to plan, my second to last day on trail here on the LT. I'm looking at my Achilles tendons. They're like bruised at the bottom. And one thing I've noticed is they feel pretty good until I put my shoes on. I will be hitting the trail shortly. It is about 7:15. And it's about 30-ish miles to Canada. 30.7 or something. So I am very close. A really cool part of the trail, pretty much right after the shelter I stayed at, called Devil's Gulch. And there's a lot of huge boulders, basically surrounded on each side by cliffs. I don't know if you can see that, but I mean, all the mud just collects underneath the sole of my shoe. Now I got these huge blowouts on both sides. Look at that one. So the mud just flows right in, settles underneath the sole. Just literally gonna dunk my shoe and I give it a swish and a rinse, and try to get all that crap from underneath there. And you can see it just, or maybe you can't see or not, but it just sticks right in there. It just totally, man, there's so much mud in there. You know, when you have those big holes in the side, I mean, the mud just comes flying right in, and it just settles right there, right underneath the sole of my foot. So there's been so much mud on trail, I haven't really bothered to do this because I'm like, well, it's just gonna get like that again within the next mile. But I will do my best today to try to avoid the mud. It seems nearly impossible most days, but cross your fingers and maybe I can keep these clean. We'll see. And we've got some trail magic. Some food that somebody's left out for thru hikers. Man, it's things like this that just give me goosebumps. Thank you, thank you. I would assume it would be Jen. Thank you for the treats. I'm gonna partake in some Pop-Tarts. Man, those are my favorite. I wonder what kind they are. So, just an update on my Achilles tendon pain. It's basically almost, scared to say this, knock on wood, non-existent today. I tell you what, I think I found the culprit, and I kind of suspected it the whole time. It's my shoes. Because the trail's been so muddy, I've been tying my shoes really tight. And I noticed last night that I was getting like bruises on the back of my Achilles tendons on both of my feet. So I tied them really loose today. And dude, I think that's the trick. You know, it's just the more arduous the experience, the more gratifying the reward, as far as I'm concerned. So dealing with all the pain, dealing with all the wet and the rain, dealing with all this just god-awful mud, you know, makes the reward of success just so much sweeter. But anyways, feeling good. I'm gonna try for 20 today. Be my first 20 since Waterbury. If I can do that, I'd have a light day tomorrow of around 10 miles, and I can meet Bethany around 11 o'clock. Okay, so I am at Hazen's shelter. This is not where I wanted to be today. I wanted to be at Jay's shelter, and man, I was feeling good all day, feeling really strong, and I got turned around at Haystack. I started going south instead of north, and I didn't realize for about almost 2 miles. So I went 2 miles in the wrong direction today. So then I had to backtrack those 2 miles to get to where I was when I got turned around. So that's an extra 4 miles for today. It was uber frustrating because I was feeling really healthy. My Achilles tendons were feeling great. Everything was jiving really well. I was like, man, I'll be able to put in 20 today, and that's what I've been trying to do for the past several days. But because of injury, or because of the pain I was going through, I was never able to. So today felt like the very first day that I'd be able to do 20 since Waterbury, and I got turned around. So if it's not one thing, it's the other. If it's not the weather, it's the mud. If it's not the mud, it's pain. If it's not pain, it's boneheaded mistakes. You know, there's so many variables that I've encountered. And today was 100% my fault, but you know, what you gonna do? I had to bid farewell to my shelter crew, Noodle and Quirky. They got off a trail, and I'm really sad I didn't really get to say a great goodbye to them, because we had said that we'd meet in the parking lot where they were getting picked up, and was right around Haystack. They started down Haystack, and I started down maybe 10 minutes later, and never caught up with them, obviously, because I went in the wrong direction. Another daughter joined them for a little bit today, and she was shoveling out free food for me. So I got some actually fresh veggies. I got some radishes and some peas, like peas in a pod, all from their garden, and some stuff from Trader Joe's as well. So some snacks and such, and that plus the trail magic that I came across today, I got a good amount of calories in me. So now for tomorrow we have around 17.4 miles. It is day 20 on the long trail. So I just got up pretty early. It's about 6 a.m. I'm hitting the trail. It's not as early as I wanted, but it was so cold this morning that I just felt like sleeping in. And I didn't feel like putting on wet clothes while it was cold. And it's still a little chilly. That's why I have my jacket on. But it's 17.2 miles to Canada. This should be my final day here on the long trail. of Jay's Peak, so almost there. So essentially the summit of Jay Peak here. But this is essentially the last big climb of the long trail. There's going to be a few other mountains after this, but they're just nothing. And same with earlier, I summited 3 little tiny mountains. I don't even remember what their names were. They're all no views and just basically hills to me. I was cooking it pretty hard. It took me maybe about 50 minutes to get up Jay's Peak, give or take. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. I'm gonna go and see if this building's open. Door right here. As I recall, this is usually locked. No, it's unlocked. Oh, a Pepsi machine. Oh, but it's locked. Oh, you can see the Pepsi machine right there. Oh, balls alive. No dogs allowed. I guess that means me. Oh, what I would do for a Pepsi right now. Come to me, Pepsi. Dang it. Oh. So here I am at the Laura Woodward shelter. So 8 more miles on the long trail. It's hard to believe that it's so close because it's always felt so far. It's been a pretty awesome journey, and today is a great day for everything to kind of come to a close. It's a beautiful sunny day. I've had great views on Jay's Peak, or Jay Peak. I keep saying Jay's, it's Jay. This little guy has a lot to say. And now the Shooting Star Shelter is where we're at. Kind of a cool place. See that water jug there? Oh, there it is. So there's water in there, and that's great news because the water source for this place is like half mile off trail, and I don't feel like doing that. So I'm gonna take some from this here jug. Yeah. Well, here we are at Jay Pass. This is the last road crossing of the LT. And that means that Canada is 2.7 miles away. Pretty nice view up here. And Vermont is beautiful. Carlton Mountain here. Last summit. The lookout really wasn't a lookout. It was basically shrouded by trees. So 1.5 miles to the Canadian border, but that's the last mountain. Woohoo! That's a bittersweet moment. It is 4:51, 10 minutes to 5. So Bethany will be here in about 3 hours. I project I'll be finishing up right around then, maybe a little sooner. So good timing. Came across a hiker coming southbound yesterday, and he was like, the trail ahead, it's a muddy mess, just to let you know. And he was like drying out his sneakers and washing everything off, like that was gonna be the only muddy part. I told him, I said, dude, it doesn't get any better. And he like looked at me in disbelief, like he didn't believe me, but he'll see, especially if it keeps on raining. But anyways, 1.4 now to the Canadian border. I am less than 1 mile from Canada. 0.9 miles to be exact. 0.9 miles. Whoa, snake. Jeez Louise. the second one I've seen today. Kind of scared me. Oops. It was like right in the trail. Okay, so I am less than 0.1 mile away from the Canadian border. So it should be coming up here pretty soon. Oh, we have a sign. Let's see what the sign says. Oh, here's the northern terminus. The long trail, scenic trail that starts and ends here. The rest of the Green Mountains, 270 miles. Awesome. So I'm here. I'm at the border of Canada. Oh, wow. Look at this. Is this the end? Oh, there it is. You were supposed to go around, but there's the official northern terminus. Wow. So out there's Canada. Hello, Canada. Never been this far up north. This is just wonderful. Look, you can kind of see like the clearing where the line is. Too funny. There's the clearing as well. Wow, 273 miles over the course of 20 days, I believe. All concludes right here. It's about 5:30 Friday, July 23rd. And I'm gonna get my hands on this thing and just throw down my trucking poles. Don't mind that. Yeah, there she blows. Wow. So, I mean, that's officially the end of my journey. This is what I've been waiting for this whole time. Canada, all out there. That's just gorgeous. Oh man, jeez, these mountains just continue to be stunning. Anyways, that's it. That's the end. A couple more miles to get to the Journey's End trailhead, and Bethany will be waiting for me. So that's it. That concludes my journey. Such a bittersweet moment. Excited to get off trail and to kind of get back to a more normalized life, but at the same time, I almost felt like I was just starting to find my groove. Trail has taught me a lot. It's taught me, patience and perseverance and just commitment. There were a few times when, especially when my pain started to flare up, my Achilles tendons, that started around the day before Rutland, which was like day 6. It's now day 20. I had been dealing with that until about 2 or 3 days ago. And it was just getting worse and worse. And every morning I'd wake up and find it hard to actually hike. And finally realized it was my shoes. My shoes were tied too tight. That almost, in the back of my mind, was almost a moment where I was like, I might need to get off trail. Because I can't do any miles. So I had that kind of moment of panic of, am I going to be able to finish this? And then when Bethany dropped me off for the second leg of the journey, when she dropped me off when we met up in Rutland, that was a really hard day for me too. I was so sad, and my Achilles tendons were killing me, and then it started raining. And when I went to hang my bear bag with my food, the bag broke, and I was just totally feeling everything all at once. And in the back of my mind, I almost thought about just saying, screw it, I don't want to do this anymore. But I have way too much pride for that. I have way too much respect for this journey that I'm able to take. You know, this is a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity, and I wasn't gonna waste it because I didn't feel like it. So 20 days, you know, I wanted to do it faster, and if I had figured out my shoes sooner, I definitely would have been able to finish this trail a lot sooner. That was really bogging me down for almost 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks. 2 weeks of an almost 3-week journey. I was in pain. And you know, it may only be 273 miles. But for me, it was just such a huge accomplishment. And I've done a lot of hiking and backpacking in the White Mountains, and I was like, there's no way it can be any worse than that. And there were definitely several sections that were harder than what I went through ever in the White Mountains. So, you know, I was like, long trail is more like rolling slopes. Nope, not at all. Here it is, the Journey's End parking lot. So this basically concludes my entire trip of the long trail right here. Bethany should be here in the next hour and a half. It's about 6:20. This is it. I'm just gonna find a spot to kind of cozy up in, and maybe right there. It looks nice. And just wait for her to come. That's it.